Hey everyone, welcome back to Bible Verse Breakdown. I'm your friend Ewaenruwa Nomaren, and in this video we are going to be breaking down what King Solomon said in Proverbs chapter 2 verse 4, which reads, "If thou seekest her as silver, and searchest for her as for hid treasures." Now you might be wondering, why am I even breaking down this verse? It sounds pretty obvious, right? Well, the reason why I'm breaking down this verse is because what King Solomon said there, as in if thou seekest her as people look for money or as they search for fortunes and all that, if we can replicate that, but searching for the things of God instead of things like money, then God will be happy with us. And let me explain what I mean by that. If you look at the way people seek for money in this world, you can see that in many cases they're desperate. They're earnest. They just want money. And in many cases, they can do it through ways that are not correct in the Bible. But essentially, no matter what, they must get money. Sometimes they can take extra jobs. Sometimes they want to work overtime. Sometimes they will not have time for their children anymore, their families, because they need to go to work. Or it could be that you pray to God for a child and then a child comes, but then you have to put the child somewhere else and another person takes care of it because you need to go look for money. So there's that desperate, I need to get money. And you can do anything. You can make any kind of sacrifice. You can go to any length to make that money. For example, if you consider Judas Iscariot, he didn't mind betraying the Son of God just for 30 pieces of silver. If you read Matthew chapter 26, verses 14 to 16. He didn't mind doing that because he loved money. He wanted as much of it as possible, and he could do anything to gain it. So what King Solomon was saying was that earnest, that desperation to gain money, we should have it for wisdom. That is, we should have that desire to gain the wisdom of God. Because remember, money and the wisdom of God or spiritual knowledge, they're not on the same level at all. That's why God said to King Solomon, "Receive my instruction and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it." So the wisdom of God is much more valuable than money. Therefore, if we want to gain it, then we're going to have to seek it the way other people seek money. If you also look at Matthew chapter 13, verse 44, Jesus Christ told the parable of the hidden treasure, and the treasure there is the wisdom of God, which when a man found, he hid it and sold all that he hath, the sacrifices and all that, just so that he could get that field. It was also like the man who was seeking goodly pearls, and when he found one, that is, the knowledge of God, of great price, he sold all that he had, and he bought that pearl. And a typical example of someone who sought God like that was Paul. And the reason why I'm citing this example is because he said it himself. If you read Philippians chapter 3, verses 7 and 8, which reads, "But what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Christ. Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss, for the excellency of the knowledge of Christ Jesus my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Christ." He could sacrifice anything, such as being a Pharisee and all the glory that came with that, belonging to the Jewish system. He could forsake all that so that he could gain the knowledge of Christ. And he couldn't get that if he was still in the Pharisee system. So he was able to forsake that because of that desire. If you also consider Moses, it's the same thing. In Hebrews chapter 11, verses 24 to 26, you can see that Moses forsook the pleasures of Egypt and accepted suffering affliction with the people of God. That was what it said there. And it was for the same reason. He wanted to be close to God. He wanted to know God. He valued that more than being rich as a prince in Egypt or anything. The psalmist also expressed that same righteous desire. He said, The law of thy mouth is better unto me than thousands of gold and silver. Therefore I love thy commandments above gold, yea, above fine gold. If we seek the things of God the way the children of this world seek after things like money, then God will fulfill or satisfy the desires of our heart, if you read Psalms chapter 37 verse 4, by filling our souls with wisdom and understanding. In that Proverbs chapter 2 verse 6, King Solomon said, "For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding." And that is where I'm going to stop on breaking down Proverbs chapter 2 verse 4, which once again reads, "If thou seekest her as silver, and searchest for her as for hid treasures." If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when we come out with our next verse breakdown. Have a good day, and God bless you.